Now we cross live to Daura, Katsina State, where my colleague Jamil Mabai is standing by for a blow-by-blow account of the event. Jamil, we're hoping that you're there. Good evening, and thank you very much for joining us on tonight. First question would be, what has been the atmosphere since former President Buhari was laid to rest?
All I can say is that of tranquility. Immediately after the president was buried, President Tinubu, together with Governor Daura, left the residence for Katsina State. And, bit by bit, governors and other dignitaries also began to leave for Katsina. And, but even after more than an hour or 2 hours after the burial has finished, mourners and were still hanging around. Massive crowd can be seen in front of the gate, and on fences, people saying all sorts of prayers. And by dawn, by 7, people began to leave for their houses, and by 8, the area was completely quiet, and the military urged everyone to leave for his home so that the family members can be allowed to breathe, given the fact that they had a long day. They traveled from London to Nigeria and straight to Katsina. And once they were in Katsina, by road, they traveled to Daura, and from there to the prayer ground and back to the residence where the president was buried. And one of the key moments for me was Yusuf Buhari. He was standing while all the proceedings were, going on. The 21 guns salutes by the military, the handover of, the Nigerian flag to the president, and the president handed over to the family, the wife of the late former president. That was very touching. She couldn't, the former first lady couldn't hid grief. You can see tears rolling her eyes, and Yusuf was standing beside her, consoling his mother, and that was really touching. And a lot of dignitaries couldn't hold their tears. People like Garba Shehu, people like the former Attorney General. He has a very good relationship with the president. He was one of the most influential and powerful person during the Buhari administration, Malami. And, tears were all over their faces. Bashir Ahmad, his PA on new media, and all sorts of close aides. People couldn't hit their tears. But it was a moment of, like I said, grief. But at least, now they have buried their father, their uncle, and the people of Daura have buried their leaders. Now they can go back to sleep, and also the president, for the first time, will rest in peace in his grave.
About the fact that people thronged through just for the funeral from before, and the security apparatus that was put in place has asked them to perhaps maybe leave. So I'm wondering what exactly the mood is like currently in Daura after the president, the late president, former president, has been buried. Are people still expressing maybe their grief?
No, okay, it's like a piece of, like a sense of tranquility, like I said. People are now recalling, some of his moments. Someone will be recalling, those who were able to meet him prior to departure to Kaduna State they were just, recounting, those moments. In particular, I had a very close conversation with one of his nieces. She told me that, a week before he left for Kaduna, she was sick, and he paid for her medical bills, and she came back telling him that she was feeling better, and he was playing jokes on her, and also there is another sister of his that, we interviewed. She told him that, she likes taking pictures with him, and that particular day before he left Daura, she traveled all the way from Katsina just to take that last picture with him. And when he saw her, he was like, no, we're not going to take pictures today. He was playing jokes, and he took the picture. At that moment, to holds, in her mind. And a lot of people in the city are just talking about his good gestures and, all sorts of things, even though sometimes, when you go back to the online community, you see comments, negative comments, especially from people, from the Shia people, saying all sorts of things. But the people of Daura, the conversation now is about all those memories, they've had of the late president.
Well, Jamil, I want to say thank you very much for bringing us the details and update on the state of things in Daura.